says so. So who wants to do a recap of what happened last week when we played? Oh, those many moons ago.
Lydia made an ass of herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I think it starts with Rurik and Aaron going scouting, looking for where the approaching enemy was.
Yeah.
We then decided to leave the orb on wings to cause a storm to attempt to slow them. Meanwhile, Lydia, with very little sleep, started bossing around the military to try and get them organized. We then had them start going through zones of truths before they got teleported to the new valley location. And then we decided we still might not have enough time, so we packed up camp and started walking in the opposite, away from where the army is. And then Lydia confronted Zarsky. Lydia meddled with Naren and Farrell's relationship.
Yeah.
I think that's about where we left off.
You met someone.
Oh yeah, fuck! How did I forget that?
Part of that session.
Some dude came up. A captain came up. He approached us, but I don't think we've actually spoken to him yet. To them yet.
Not really, no. So yeah, that's where we pick up this week. So yeah, you guys are trekking south towards the pass, and as you are trekking this day after you scoot your lads through for the day, you see this other army on the horizon, small army, really a little more than a unit of soldiers, and they appear to be heading full steam for you, and kind of as they approach, I think they flagged you down. They waved a flag at you, and I think you guys, as a group, had stepped forward to meet with them. And the guy at their head, the guy leading them, is this blue dragonborn. He's wearing this like piecemeal armor, like some of this chainmail. He's got like a glass breastplate and like one glass pauldron. He's got a blue dragon glass gauntlet on his left hand. He's got a big sword on his waist. Looks kind of fairly old. Well, not fairly old. Like he looks kind of like middle-aged. Like he's kind of must be in his late 40s, maybe hovering around 50. He looks like he's been around the block a bit. And he kind of had called out to you guys and asked if you were Naren and Zorgar Mark X. And then he had said, "My name is Saros. I and mine have come to pledge our service to you, if you will have us." And that was where we had left off. So what is your guys' reaction to that?
You wouldn't happen to have any relation to Clan Urus, would you?
Not anymore.
Anymore?
I once he kind of nods. You see, it looks kind of like a sort of like a kind of like an uncomfortable thing for him to talk about. He says, "I once went under the name Aram Ulriths. I served your father as the Blue Claw. But those days are behind me, and I no longer call Clan Ulriths my home."
What brings you all the way out here seeking us then?
He looks at you, he says, "I want to make a difference again."
I inspect the troops.
Sure, yeah. So they are a unit of regular light infantry. It's about 40 of them. So one kind of squadron. They're all kind of similarly like fairly piecemeal. put together. Their equipment's not brilliant, but they look fairly like the way they carry themselves, the way they kind of respond to this dude. Suggests they're pretty well trained soldiers. You have a pretty good instinct about them. They're they're better trained than some of your legionaries. It looks like that, but they're not quite as well equipped, or they're kind of similarly equipped as when the 8th Legion turned up to pledge service to you first, those many months ago. So yeah, it's a unit of regular light infantry. It's size 1d4. So it's about 40 of them, plus this dude. So I'm going to call it 40 all in.
Cool. What does Balex think?
Did you bring Balex with you?
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of he mostly defers to you. He kind of looks at you and kind of takes your cue. He says, but like if it looks like Marin is like, okay, yeah, these guys are pretty good. He's kind of like if they appears to be in order. He kind of backs you up on some of your assumptions and stuff. Like he's like
My hype man.
a little bit, yeah. He's mostly just kind of letting you do the talking and the negotiating. But he doesn't, he seems to be like he kind of casts an eye over them. Seems to be like, yeah, it's all good here. He kind of, are you like asking him what he thinks?
Yeah, and if he's ever heard of any of these, if he's heard of the captain before, if he was one of the 10 claws.
Yeah, he backed up. He's like, yes, I remember. I didn't meet. Kind of nods his head. I didn't meet him personally, but the name certainly rings true. He kind of looks at the soldiers. He says, I mean, they seem in good condition. We're not really in a position to be turning people down, I don't think, Commander. But I bow to your judgment.
I guess I'll just go to. Is his name Seros? Is that it?
That's what he calls himself. Yeah.
I'll tell him welcome to the cause.
You see him you see some of the soldiers behind him kind of thank fuck. And he says that he's a bit more proper about it. He he nods. He gives you a little bit of a bow. He says, "It's a pleasure, sir."
Obviously, all the troops and yourself will have to be inspected slightly just to make sure. We've been inspecting our own troops just to make sure there's no spies among us.
So of course, you shan't find anything wrong, sir. I would trust these back with my life. Where are you headed presently?
Well,
We understand the 8th are marching on you.
Yeah, not going to lie, your presence makes things slightly more difficult, but it's fine, we should manage.
Are you aware of the 5th movements?
General direction? Sorry, what?
The 5th Legion. They are... He kind of gestures towards... You can kind of, at this distance, you can kind of see the mountain range in the distance. He says they are marching from the capital to Ormonth.
So the 5th are marching from Carantol to Ormonth.
Aye.
The 8th are closing on us.
Is your path going to meet with their route?
I hope not. We might have to adjust it slightly. We're just kind of sticking to a tree line. Dropping off about 40 people a day.
Certainly. You can kind of see by this point, at this stage in the day, you can kind of see that you're now getting out of the kind of denser vegetation and the kind of more clustered forests, So it's going to be difficult, if not kind of almost impossible, to find a huge tree in this bit. So you're going to be working with smaller trees, which can fit less people through. So let me have a look at the map. So basically, hexes on the map that have like tree symbols on them, that's like dense forest. You'll be able to find big trees there that you'll be able to shift more people through. But anywhere that doesn't have, like, there's forests around. The whole place is kind of loosely forested, as you might expect. But anywhere that doesn't have like a tree symbol on the map is not dense enough to find huge trees. So you can only do
that
10 per
tag
pass.
where we are currently, yeah.
Yeah.
Do we still see the storm?
Yeah, you can definitely see it's still following.
Whereabouts? Over like here-ish?
That's a good point. You should be able to see. If I got a generic actor, you'll do. So it's about kind of there.
Right, okay.
After the storm. Oh. Was not between us and the 8th Legion that we're closing in?
I thought you were having wings like sort of like follow them so the storm moved with them.
That's what I
Where-
assumed too.
Is that where they are?
That's where the storm is.
actor?
Can I make
Okay.
that guy bigger?
So I'm thinking that the storm was between us and the Legion that was in pursuit. Is that right?
I thought it was on top, but I'm not sure.
I think it's supposed to be on top because that will actively slow them. They'll be
Okay.
in a storm.
It's around
Right, so
about there.
the-
You're gonna...
Okay. So the 8th Legion are like below the storm, either way. Is that what? Where
It's-
they
I
are?
mean, it's the storm is wherever you want it to be in relation to the 8th Legion. It's your bird.
I looking at the map, I see 2 8th Legion things, and neither of
so
them line up with.
okay. Ignore those ones. So just that like you can't see where the army is. You can just see where the storm is. So that white symbol, that is just the storm. The 2 8th Legion symbols,
yes.
those are you guys.
I see. Oh, that's our 8th Legion. Sorry. Okay. I understand.
Sorry, that's actually not very clear.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Cool. That's all chill.
So we need to make it to big trees again. But we're getting dangerously close to Ormonth Pass.
And Aaron, how do you feel about just strongholding Ormonth?
Well, from the sounds of what we've just been told, it sounds like after yours, we gallivant down there, they're sending a legion down to secure it. Is that what they're doing? I'm addressing Saras now.
I understand it is. I'm not sure what it is you speak of. I understand it is in reaction to relations with the mainland and your presence here.
Yeah, so I think they're securing Ormonth a little bit more.
Could get there before. Or maybe we can just walk the rest of the troops the way to the ravine.
That leaves a trail right to a new place there.
It does.
And also, most of the reason we like this place is because the only way to access it is by air, right?
Yes.
So, have to fly everyone up.
Is there another way past the Ormonth Pass? Maybe around that mountain to the north of the pass? And like you see where my little mouse is right now, Matt?
Mm-hmm.
Can the troops fit through here?
I assume so. Are there many trees through there? Also, where is the place? Is it like down here?
The ravine?
Yeah.
Is this not the ravine?
Yeah, so there's the like I've got the 8th Legion tokens are where your army is.
Oh, I
So there's a
see,
bit
I
of
see.
your army's with you, and a bit of your army's at the bit. So those mountain symbols are not like technically like discrete mountains, like they kind of are, but they're like a mountain range. So there's not like it's not like there's like mountain gap, mountain. It's like mountain and kind of weird foothills, kind of sub mountains and stuff like that. So it's like you probably could, and it wouldn't be as simple as just like walking around a mountain. If that makes sense.
But I'm also scared of straying too close, because if they're here, I don't want to walk right next to them, because as soon as they lose our tracks, they'll just kind of spread out around this area.
Alright, well, we've got people following us. We got people in front of us.
We have a ranger. I'm going to ask Zazen what he thinks the best track would be to stray away from the pass and find big trees.
Jake, what does Zazen think the best way would be to go away from the path by big trees?
Give us a survival check.
Seventeen.
17. I mean, so Zarzan would probably be like, there's a couple of options. You could always hide near the pass and wait for the army to go by, and then like juke them. But that's obviously the longer you are still, the other legion, is slowly catching up on you. You could potentially leg it south and cross over those mountains there, or you could kind of go northeast into like the bit around Banasan. It's probably fairly well populated. There'll be people around there, so that it'd be difficult to do that unseen. But there'd be probably a route into the forests, kind of on the other side of those mountains. Like there's not really that many routes over that mountain range that don't involve climbing the mountain. That's why the pass is kind of as big a deal as it is, if that makes sense. So you can kind of, Zarzan probably be like, you can hide, wait for them to pass, and then juke them. That might be a fairly reasonable plan, but it kind of leaves you sitting in one place for a bit. Or you can kind of go like leg it south and try and get like away from the road and into the mountains there, and they might not notice you. Or kind of go northeast into somewhat civilized places, but maybe find a route kind of towards the capital and kind of round into the forest, if that makes sense.
I don't know about you guys, but I'd opt to keep going southeast and try and make our way to this forest. Hope we don't run into the 5th Legion. And just so it leaves a trail for them to follow that's heading this way. Meanwhile, our people are actually up here.
Yeah,
So
I
I think
think
we can
going
do
south
to-
is the best option.
Yeah. So anything we can do to slow down the ones coming from Carental, sorry.
Well, we don't know where they are.
Yeah. Can anyone scout it out?
Raffen can turn into a big old bird.
I could. Like a great big duck.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe after we do the day's teleporting, we could have a little scout around, see where they are, and start moving in that direction.
yeah, just
I can
do
do
the teleporting for today.
You guys have already
We'll
done your
keep
teleport for
moving.
today. I think we did that last week.
Oh, okay. Well, what time in the day is it currently?
It's like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, I guess if someone wants to go with Raffen, just so Raffen isn't alone.
Would you want me to just scout?
Just scout up and down Ormonth Pass to try and find out where the 5th Legion are.
All played up. Bud. It's because I can go as like a little bird or something and be unnoticed.
Oh, that's true.
Hmm?
Yeah, I can just do that.
If how's the flying speed for little birds? Is it as fast as big birds?
I don't know. We check.
He's slower, right? Because it has a smaller
Big
wingspan.
bird doesn't fly very fast.
They're not.
They only got little wings.
I don't know if you'll find stats for like pigeons that I'm gonna say it's like partly between Raffin speed and like giant eagle speed, like 45 feet per round. That feels
So-
reasonable.
Yeah, an eagle, a regular eagle's 60 feet.
Oh, if it's a regular eagle 60 feet, then we'll just say it's
Yep.
60 feet.
Cool.
And a giant eagle's 80 feet, so I could just go as a regular eagle, and it wouldn't be, just be a little less feet.
That's probably better. Easier. No, they'd have a tough time spotting you as a regular eagle.
Yeah, I'll majestically hover.
How common are eagles? What kind of birds does Scale have?
Probably
Yeah,
got
that's a
kind
good
of
point.
weird, like sort of like pseudo dinosaur, like kind of sort of pterodactyl kind of birds.
Oh, I think I
Um,
can turn in a pterodactyl. Hold on.
Cool.
They don't have pterodactyls, but they have birds that are like
Oh.
kind of partly between like with somewhat more kind of dinosaur-y stuff going on. Kind of like
Is there
dragon pterodactyls, but like small.
It's in my other book.
Is a dragon pterodactyl, is there an equivalent to an eagle?
That probably is the kind of the equivalent to eagle is like small dragon, small scaly pterodactyl boy. I guess.
Oh, pretty cool.
Pseudo dragons are you can have pseudo dragons as a pet, can't you?
It
They
would
have-
be, I don't know. Sounds plausible.
Bingo.
Bingo was a wyvern. Bit bigger than a pseudo dragon, I think.
Can't remember. I wrote down the dinosaurs I could turn into, but I think they're in another. But they're not on my D&D Beyond. Well, would I've seen enough of like a scaly type bird to be able to turn in one?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. There'll be some kind
Alright, I'll
of.
process.
It might not be the equivalent of a scale eagle. It might be like the equivalent of like a scale sparrow or something. But you can definitely do it.
Cool beans. I shall blend in that way.
Okay. So Raffin kind of, as you guys are chatting to Zeros and stuff, Raffin kind of goes, starts whispering, and then it goes, it sort of shrinks down, and then there's just this bird. It's got like scales. It's kind of very, very brightly colored. Kind of like what is that little like flying raptor or dinosaur thing? You know the one I mean? That's not actually that helpful.
Don't know.
It's like a little raptor with like wings and stuff. It's kind of yeah big, kind of brightly colored. Has like a less of a beak, more of like a snappy mouth thing.
Microraptor is what I'm finding.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, sure. Yeah. A winged microraptor. So yeah, Raffin kind of shrinks down into one of them. Some of the soldiers watching that, like the new soldiers, are like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" But they don't say anything. They kind of like, "Do you see that? Crazy. Where'd he go? The elf dude?"
Archaeopteryx?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, Archaeopteryx. Seems to be one.
Yeah, one of those boys, something like that. That's kind of what you get.
Nice.
So yeah, what is your plan, Raffin, as a newly made herb?
Well, I'll fly up and down the pass, see if I can spot this army.
Sure, give us a. It's gonna take let me have a look here. It's gonna take you a bit of time to get to the pass.
Oakley dokley.
Because it's like 20 miles away. So as a bird that like that might be kind of like, if you to get to the pass and back is probably gonna be. Like, that's probably gonna be about as far as you can go today. You might get back kind of late, so like you're not really gonna be able to like. So what is the army's plan? Are you gonna just kind of? You still got like another few hours of like potential walking. So are you just gonna stay put, or are you gonna walk towards there? Like, where is the army's plan while Raffin's away? Because it's gonna be a couple hours before he gets back.
Keep marching southeast.
Okay.
Because the hills and the trees.
Sure. Okay. So Raffen turns into this little scaly bird and flaps his wings and takes off southeast towards the pass. And the rest of you guys start marching. You see Saros has a conversation with Sora. You know, they kind of like, actually there's like they have a hug and stuff. She obviously recognizes him, even though she didn't recognize the name. And they have a bit of a chat, but you can't really, unless you're like going to try and eavesdrop on them, you can't really hear what they're chatting about, but it certainly looks fairly pleasant. And you guys start heading off southeast. And a couple hours go by, it's getting to like 4 or 5 p.m. And you can see behind you there is a cart trundling down, kind of down the foothills of the mountain, onto the kind of road you guys are on. That looks like it's going to come into contact with you pretty soon, if it's not already seen you.
Does that look like it's going up?
If there's what? Sorry?
Does that look like it's a filling cart?
Well, it's more than one cart. It's like 2 or 3 carts. And it's kind of difficult to tell at this distance, but it certainly looks like there's a fair number of people on them.
I get my spyglass.
Sure, yeah. Give us a perception check. You can't really tell. Like they're moving and bobbing, and you know, soldiers keep walking in front of you and stuff, and like you can't really get a beat on them. Just the geometry of the mountainside as well is kind of difficult. Like your spyglass doesn't get quite that far away, even though you kind of see them at a distance. They're actually like a fair distance away, so your spyglass doesn't really get you much enough of a magnification to really kind of identify them in any kind of way. You're like, there's definitely some civilians there, you think.
Tell the troops to be on the ready.
Alright, sir. They'll kind of like half shunt their swords out their scabbards and kind of just kind of keep a weather eye out. You're still just marching southeast?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Are you like kind of like checking in on the cart occasionally and, you know, seeing what's going on with it and stuff like that, or are you just like ignoring it?
No, I'm looking at it every now and then.
Sure. Okay. So about 15-20 minutes go by. You get the distinct impression they've definitely seen you. Just like the way, unless they're like not looking. But like where they are and where you are, you're like, there's no way they've missed an army this size. And about 15-20 minutes go by, and they're still, you know, they're getting closer. It's moving at a reasonable clip, and then they're kind of getting into a range where you're close enough to see that they have. There are some soldiers on that wagon. There's or the kind of sort of small caravan of stuff, and you can see there are Clan Luminar sigils on the, like, there's one like plastered on the side of the kind of the lead wagon. Then you reckon they're probably going to be kind of where you guys are in about 10-15 minutes, if that.
So are they like coming down a road that's going to be on our road?
Yeah, basically.
And does it look like they're going to be heading our way, or in the same direction as us?
Yeah, like the way the road goes, it kind of like, whoops. So like, you know, it kind of goes down the mountain and goes like that. But there's also this one that goes here. So like, basically where you are, like, there's not really another road they can, like, they're going to be on your road. It's just, they might be going to, like, through the pass, or they might be going south to Ormond. It's difficult to say right now. But it definitely looks like they came from Banasan and the area around it.
Okay. I guess we'll try and slow down a little to let them go ahead of us.
Sure. Okay. So are you just like trying to avoid having to like speak to them, or are you trying to avoid being seen by them?
Yes.
Or anything? Okay. I mean, if you're trying to avoid being like to speak to them, like you kind of they will kind of go on their way without interacting with you. Do you see they kind of like as they get close, they also kind of slow their pace, and they're kind of you can see, especially at this distance, like when it's quite you can see there are guards with them, and the guards have like, they're watching you guys intently as the wagon kind of goes, and starts to curve around down towards the pass. It doesn't look like they're making any intent to really stop and chit chat or anything like that.
Did you say that any of the carts look especially nice? Like they'd be transporting a person of high importance.
None of them look like they're transporting a person. They've definitely like there are some. You can see there's like 4 or 5 wagons, and some of them are just transporting soldiers. But there's like at least half the wagons are just piled high with like big crates of stuff. But you can't see any like carriages or anything like that.
Okay. Yeah, we just won't interact with them and hope they don't try and interact with us. And
Yeah, no, they just kind of like the guards on the back, like they keep like an eye on you guys, and then the cart kind of goes down the path. You can see they're still like looking back at you, kind of hands on their swords as they kind of disappear. They start like really ragging the Calicar, trying to get them to get a shift on. But yeah, if you guys aren't trying to interact with them, they're not going to try and interact with you, and they're just going to kind of disappear into the sunset, down towards the pass.
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So a couple of hours go by, you kind of get a bit more walking done. So kind of by the time you have to kind of turn in for the evening, you're about there-ish. So Raffin, can you give me a perception check, please, if you're scouting
Perception.
ahead?
Oh my god, I'm on the wrong tab.
Uh,
Like 20. 26!
26. Okay. So you flap away down to the pass. You don't see any armies at the pass. You do kind of see like in the distance. It's kind of difficult to tell, but you're particularly eagle-eyed today. So let me drag in. So I guess we'll just drag in another generic actor. Huey. So around about there, you can see an army, or certainly a big mass of people heading west. Also, you see this for the 26 or whatever much you got. You also kind of, as you're kind of ascertaining armies over there, getting ready to turn around and go back to meet with everyone else. You see this wagon kind of roll through the pass. You can kind of hear. You don't speak Draconic, do you?
I don't think I do.
Okay.
I was doing some lessons, but I don't know how much I would have learned.
Sure. Okay. So you kind of you can overhear some of the conversation happening on this wagon, and the people seem they seem pretty nervous, and they're kind of talking amongst each other. You pick up you definitely hear the names Naren and Zorgar, because that's just what they are in Draconic. and you hear Mark X, and you hear the Draconic for like soldier and stuff like that. And then there's kind of they all seem kind of concerned. It's kind of the tone you pick up from it, as if they're kind of like worried. And then that's about all you really are able to understand as this cart trundles into the east. And then are you just heading back to the rest of the party? Is that right?
Yes.
Sure. Okay. So yeah, you guys. What are the rest of you doing with your evening? Kind of once it's too late to carry on marching. And how are you guys spending the rest of your time today?
Nothing in particular. Reading. I'd probably call not Korvaki. I'd probably call Wings, just to check in, see how he's doing, since he's flying around all day and in the storm and stuff.
Do I have to keep doing this? I am exhausted.
You're exhausted. You can come down.
I have been flying for 3 days.
3 days. It has been 3 days. Okay, mate. I think you've earned. Yeah, I think you're good to chill. Like, come down to us.
All right. And you see the storm starts moving, with actually a fair amount of speed towards where you guys are, and begins to envelop you.
Right.
And Wings kind of alights and kind of preens himself and shakes
It's
like a dog.
raining now.
Yes.
So, Wings was just flying for 3 days straight. Can I grab him some fish from the store? Not the store, but whatever.
The store.
Do we have like a food cart? Do we have like a cart with?
Oh yeah, we have pasta or meat. I'm not sure which one they brought.
Well, can I get some meat then? Or go back?
If we have any, sure.
All right. Can I go on over to the cart, Jake?
Sure, yeah. Pale is sitting there, kind of. She's got an arm on a crate. She's kind of watching everyone as they come by. She kind of sees you and she's. You stole my pasta.
No.
What's in your pockets?
Just
your pocket mix. I heard you talk about it.
Yeah, pockets.
Now I'm missing pasta. And there was
no
a
pasta.
big. There was. She holds up a dried mushroom that you recognize as part of your. It's like a little one. Like, I found this in there.
Okay, so
Is that from your pocket mix?
It's from my pocket mix. I may have helped myself fill up my pasta. Oh, look too tasty. I'm sorry. I'm also here to ask for a bit more. I need some meat for Wings over there.
Well, you should have thought of that before you stole my pasta.
Well,
Look, I've got a ship to run here. Okay, it's not easy feeding all these people.
I'll bring you back double the pasta that I took. How about that?
All right.
All right.
You can have your meat then.
All right. Thank you. I take like probably a bit too much, but for Wings, he needs to be fed. He's a big bird. He's a big bird. And I go.
You hear her kind of cursing, and you hear her cursing in like native halfling language, like the kind of cursing that you've probably only ever heard like Lida do when she's like really hacked off, like if Lida's indeed ever sworn in halfling.
Well, probably a lot often and a lot.
Yeah.
Recognize some words, some verbiage.
Yeah, you hear a hefty use of the word "fucking" or the translation, and yeah, you grab some. So it's not like raw meat; it's like cured and everything. But, you grab a goodly amount, take it back to Wings, and he's like, he's probably kind of like cuddled up against something, like just kind of like taking a breather.
Of a Wings. Give him a kind of pat on the side, like, all right, mate, good shift, thank you, really appreciate it. This is for you.
This is your tea. You're back on shift in 20 minutes.
He snaps up. He's like, yeah. Yeah.
Listen, I know it's not quite what you're used to. How about this? I know you just have worked really hard for like 3 days straight there. So how about you take a day? You go rest, do your thing, then you come back to us, and I might need you to get back on doing that again.
Very
I'm
well.
sorry. It's war, you know.
You
it's
give the
tough.
other Raven holidays.
I just gave you a little break.
You give him months off.
That's because he is a savvy negotiator.
Can we open negotiations?
Not yet. No.
But why not?
There's a probationary period. And in that time, there's not really much room for negotiations of holidays. But you're close to the end of your probationary period, which is great news. Great news for you.
He just.
Soon, Wings. Soon. Listen, there's a coast that way. In fact, there's a coast every way. You're not far from a coast. You'll find some fish. It'll be good. Just don't die, and come back
Bet
to
the
us.
other Raven doesn't have to catch his own food. And he takes off.
The Raven doesn't eat. He's a statue.
Must be nice.
Oh, I take the orb. before
Yeah,
this.
I assume you kind of take the orb off him. Are you keeping the storm on, or are you deactivating?
That's a good question. Naren,
No, it's-
storm on or off?
Off! We're in it!
Off.
What the fuck do you mean?
Sorry.
Sure. So yeah, I kind of like, not quite as like it. You know, after its swift arrival, the storm is over after about 15 minutes. You guys are absolutely drenched. All the soldiers are like, oh god, sucks being
I'm
a
gonna-
soldier.
I'm gonna go around and decide that tonight I'm not gonna be a nuisance, so I'm gonna go around and help everyone make sure everyone gets like nice fires going to try and dry off.
Sure. Okay.
Maybe help people out if maybe their feet are fucked up because they've been marching for so long, so I heal some people up.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Just doing nice deeds to repent for the fucking thing that happened the other night.
Okay. So if you're healing people, like mark off like I don't know, like 3 or 4 like spell slots or whatever.
Can do.
And yeah, you guys watch as Lyta goes around and kind of, you know, a lot of people are like, I soaked my tinderbox. And they're kind of trying to start fires, and this wood's all green. It's gonna be smoky. And then Lyta comes around. And it's like just kind of like what does it look like? Like, do you help them light a fire traditionally, or do you just like wizard it? Just go like snap, fire, pow
I
pow.
probably just wizard it because at this
Sure.
point I can pretty much just do that.
So yeah, you guys watch as like do you do them all like regular fires, or do you like throw some in like some weird colored ones and stuff? Because you can probably do that.
Sure, yeah, make it a party.
Okay, yeah.
I'll make sure in my mind to like be doing this for like guitar and all that kind of stuff.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. You get some good vibes off him. You're like, yeah. You feel the strong sensation that he's up there going, yeah, like rock on, man. Yeah. Cool. Green. Nice. And yeah, Lyta goes around and assists with the fires, and generally kind of it does a lot to lift people's spirits, and they're like kind of. They're pretty taken aback by the fact that they're different colors and stuff like that. They're like, that's so neat. Like that only happens at Callaway, in the big city, and it's like it's all here for us. Neat. And they're having a lot of good chat. You know, the new soldiers are kind of integrating fairly well. And it looks like they're kind of chatting to people and stuff like that. You see the fire that Saros is at, you can see he's like after you light the fire in a different color, like he's like, you know, he's kind of like clicking his fingers and like changing the color as well. Like he's doing some wizard shit. And like kind of like almost like idly, like it looks like he's just kind of like it's like having a good time. He's chatting to people and kind of like absentmindedly doing it. You see he kind of watches what you do like fairly intently, but doesn't say anything to you. But you just kind of get the sensation he's just there like, Cool. Nice. Yeah, nice.
Wizard respect.
Yeah. That's a halfway I can get behind. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Now he's probably gonna spend his evening trying to get to know Saros.
Sure. Okay. Yeah.
Maybe insist that Balax accompanies him.
Yeah. I mean, Balax will be like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. That seems like a sensible plan. Like, do you have like do you guys do like officers' messes and stuff like that, like officers' quarters, like you know, they have like officers' quarters on like submarines and stuff like that. Obviously, it's not a submarine, but you know.
I mean, Naren's only experience of that would be his ship, and he has an office, but he kind of sleeps in the same area as the crew. He doesn't have
Sure,
his
yeah.
own kind of. So probably he has like the officers' council and stuff,
Uh-huh.
but it probably doesn't like assign separate sleeping areas or anything.
Okay, sure,
like
yeah.
that.
But like, you don't have like a separate officers area for like socializing or anything like that. You just kind of okay, sure.
No.
So you guys go and sit down with Saros. He's there. You can see he's like fiddling with the fire and like clicking at different colors and like making it like make sounds and stuff. Just like for fun, it looks like. He kind of sees you come over. He kind of nods and says, "It's quite the operation you've got here."
It's getting there.
Can I even turn
I
it since-
see-
Oh, sorry. Go on.
Are you a wizard?
He says I dabble. He says all Ulrus clans people are taught at least rudimentary magic. I find it quite useful in battle.
What kind of magic have you used in battle?
He kind of is Lyda nearby? Like, is Lyda within like
She's kind
eyesight?
of pottering about.
He kind
I'll
of
say yes.
like he kind of like gestures towards Lyda. He says similar things, I'd imagine. You know, shielding magics, destructive magics. Kind of like makes the fire purple, just like kind of punctuate it.
Very cool. So I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we spoke to the head of Clan Uris. He didn't give us much, but he gave us your name.
When you say that, he kind of looks like sort of confused. He says, "They did. That is surprising."
How so?
I just wouldn't expect they'd approve of what I'm doing these days. But then they are curious at the best of times.
They just seem to want the least bloodshed possible.
Yes. Path of least resistance, that's the Ulrus way. But that can cause as many problems as it solves, I feel. He kind of looks around. He says, "So what is the plan, for lack of a better term?"
Currently, we only have a loose plan. We're mainly prioritizing moving the troops right now, as it seems we were discovered in our last hideout.
I see. Do you have any idea why?
No. Well, actually, we kind of gave ourselves away a little bit at a nearby location.
I see.
Our ship was discovered. I'm not sure if they were marching in response to that or whether they got a more solid piece of information.
He kind of shrugs. He says, "It's difficult to say. It wasn't. It wasn't especially difficult to determine where you were. At least in my
How
experience.
did you find us?
Rumors. He gestures to, like the bit he's hanging out at is still like it's still like predominantly the soldiers he brought with him. He kind of like gestures around them. He says, I pulled this disparate band together. They had their ear to the ground for a while. Before that, it's difficult. It's news travels fast on somewhere a small scale.
Fair enough. And you trust everyone you brought with you?
Yes. But I understand if you wish to vet them. I probably wouldn't be taking any chances in your shoes.
No. Tomorrow you'll see what we're up to and how we're transporting people and the vetting procedure.
I see. I look forward to it.
Then does the army have any booze left? I imagine Aaron has like his personal like flask or something.
It probably does have some, but it probably has to go through Pela. So maybe like
Fuck. And Aaron tries to go get a bottle to share with.
And she'll give you one. Like you're in charge.
Okay, cool. Okay, good.
She kind of like as you approach, she's like, "Are you here for meat as well, or pasta? You know,
I'm
you're gonna have to get it off the dwarf because he's almost running me out."
Well, he's a big lad. He needs his food.
If you just had O'Sellins, wouldn't go through nearly as much as this. And
Aaron's just kind of ignoring her and going,
we got like
please.
6 days worth or something.
Once he's acquired the booze,
I mean, there's another 40 people now. I don't understand how I'm supposed to make that last. They didn't bring. We've not got 40 people's more worth of food.
Is Aaron left yet?
Yeah, she's kind of like. All right, I guess I'll figure it out then. Guess that's what I'll do. That's what I have to. You hear her swearing in O'Sellin as well. Yeah, you get probably not anything especially nice. It's kind of like the the alcohol for the soldiers or whatever. Just like a meat maybe, something like that. You get all of that. Then are you heading back to Sarah, or are you going somewhere else?
Yeah, going back to Sarah, so I'm just gonna share some booze with him and
Sure.
Alex and whoever else is there.
Yeah, so you head back and you can see he's chatting to Balex about they're chatting about like old battles and stuff like that. Like Balex is like, yeah, well, when we were in Tyrus, this is exactly how we did it. You had the tents set up like this, and you had them in rotas and stuff like that. And he's like, well, okay, that's in prison. And then you come back and they kind of like both look up at you. And Alex says, Commander. We were just he just kind of shrugs. He's like, I don't even know where we've been. I take it the halfling wasn't too scary then.
No.
They're feisty.
Yeah, I'm aware. She did a disservice to the crew, but I had no choice but to have her work for the army, so I miss Waylon.
He was a good lad. bit scatterbrained.
Yeah, but good cook.
There's very little chat actually. Like, you know, it's like that kind of way where you're like they're like it's kind of that awkward thing where like they don't really know each other. Zeros isn't that chatty, generally.
It's
And
kinda
also like
that
everyone's really
get the
tired as
boost.
well. So like there's not a huge amount of there's long periods of silence. Like Naren probably has to do most of the heavy lifting with the conversation.
Yeah, now I'll just talk to him for the evening and the other soldiers he has with him there as well.
Sure. Okay.
At some point in time.
Yeah. So probably over the course of the evening, you find out that the Ceros chap he used to be the Blue Claw, and then your dad got killed, and he was like, "That's not on." And he kind of stuck around for a bit longer, and then he was like, "No, this is still not on." And no one else was like, "That's not on, really." And he was like, "Okay, well, this is really not on, so I'm packing it in now." And he went away to the mainland. And then he heard about you and was coming along. But then you left for Scale, so he was like, "Fuck, well, I'm gonna go to Scale." And he went back to Scale, and he picked these guys up. He kind of, and grouped them up, and then came to find you. And that's basically what he's been doing recently. So he did some time on the mainland, and then now he's back on Scale. So he's not like super up to date with like what's going on, like current affairs and things like that. But he says he said that he did not like one of the reasons he left is that he didn't really think that your that Valisar sort of obeyed the rules of the challenge when he killed your dad. He was like, yeah, the challenge is called Skelos Tychum, and he's like, I don't feel the rules were obeyed. Never in Scale's history has such a challenge been issued in that way with so few witnesses, and then it's only Kalos and I that saw it that way. The other claws took Valisar's side. And then he kind of drifts off. He's like, but that's in the past.
Is Naren's mum here? Or is she at another group or by herself?
A little bit of both, she kind of like just kind of floats around. She might have gone to bed because she's fairly old. She's kind of tired a lot of the time. She's probably hanging out with Zorgar's mom, actually. That's usually what she does.
Do they get along?
Yeah, they do. Yeah, because they knew each other before, so they're like, yeah. They're kind of chatting away with each other. And also like Nishan's got she got the egg with her and stuff. So, like, sort of just trying to like help her out and stuff. Basically. So that's how she spends most of her evenings. So are you guys doing anything else this evening, or are you just waiting for the next morning?
If Naren's got a free moment, I'll just tell him that Wings was flying for 3 days straight, so I've let him take a day off. So it's going to be 24 hours where we don't have a storm give us any cover.
I feel the next 24 hours is going to be the tough bit, but a day is what he needs.
Well, I don't think I could ask him to go for a 4th day.
I'm sure you could talk him into it.
Maybe.
Bird brain is an insult for a reason.
Well, I'm afraid if I do, he'll peck my eyes out, if I'm honest. If you give us... Do we have any of those pack animals, Jake, in the... Calicar?
Probably not. Like you wouldn't have brought any with you. I don't think you've acquired any while you're here. It's the sort of thing you will probably kind of like the soldiers will gather kind of gradually over time. But you've not been here all that long, so you don't have any with you right now.
I can certainly keep the storm going, but obviously you don't want it to be centered on you because it makes it harder for the whole army to move. If I have an animal to ride on, then I can keep distance from others whilst keeping the storm up.
It's fine. We should be able to last a day. How, Jake, how many days does Aaron reckon remain until everyone has been moved?
So you've so far moved 80 of your. Well, you had 200 soldiers. You moved 80 of them. So you got 120 left, and then Sarah's turned up with another 40. So you got 160 soldiers. So you moved about a
they're only
third.
down 1 day, essentially.
Sort of. But you are also at, like, you know, more soldiers, I guess. So, yeah, like, kind of, yeah. So
4 more days.
it's going to be 8 days unless you can get to some trees.
Oh, shit.
Naren, what do you think the odds are that if I lead the storm in a different direction, they'll follow it? Because as far as they've known so far, the storm has been in front of them. Or behind
Well,
you.
No, they've been in the storm.
Okay, yeah.
So if they're suddenly not in the storm, I don't know.
Might not do anything. I'm just trying to think if there's any distractions we can do to take their eye off of everyone.
I don't know.
Big fires.
I was thinking about that, but I don't exactly want to cause a forest fire here.
No, I'd rather not. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yes, we just keep scouting and dodging.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds good.
So everyone is walking on foot during the day, yeah?
Yeah, you don't have any wagons or anything like that.
Okay.
Is Fraffin back?
Yeah, Raffin probably arrives back. It's about like 9 o'clock at night. That's when it's probably when Raffin gets back.
I'll give them the scouting report.
Okay. So that troop we ran into earlier will probably alert someone to our presence. So that unit to the east will probably move towards us.
I have a thought that, so I know we're leaving footprints behind. We're leaving trampled earth behind us wherever we go.
Yeah.
Fraffin is, can you help the grass grow again where we were walking?
Yeah, I think I can. Jake, I can use like a grow plants, but it might make it grow a bit more lush. Do you know what I mean? Can I bring it back to what it was, or will it? Because most of the druid spells in that tend to sort of, you know, increase the.
Let me have a look.
So I don't know if I could control it, but I could certainly make it. It would just look like there was a new patch of grass, I guess.
I wonder if there's any cleric spells that would be able to help in any way. I don't think there probably wouldn't be.
Yeah, you can probably do that. I think that's probably alright. You can probably use plant growth to do that. It's like a. I'm gonna say so. It's a 100-foot radius. Normally that makes it like thick and overgrown, which is not really what you want. But if you're trying to make like just like some grass grow, I'm gonna say that if you cast plant growth, it will do a hex of grass. Like it will just kind of keep the grass normal. So like you can move about 8 hexes a day, so you'd have to cast it 8 times to totally cover the tracks. But it could probably be done.
What spell was that?
Plant growth.
Plant growth. I was gonna ask if Raffin or Niall has Pacify Trace, because I think it's a ranger spell as well. I don't think it would be able to cover all people because it's 30 feet, like 30 feet radius from you as you cast it.
Yeah.
I know
Imagine
it only
something
lasts
shit
for
like
up to an hour, so it's probably not the best. But it makes it so that people within 30 feet of you don't leave any tracks.
I will check. I'm sure I've got that, but I don't have it on my list of learned spells at the moment, so I could learn it.
Naren, I've got a potential idea.
Hit me.
I could bombard the pass with lightning and create a lot of holes. Just make it. It's basically. I think I'm just going to make it difficult terrain. Basically, is my thinking.
How much ground would you really cover with that, though? Like, I think aim should be primarily to lose them as opposed to stalling them.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, I don't actually. Maybe it should be to stall them because it doesn't matter if they can track us so long as we're ahead of them long enough that everyone gets to Daisy Highway.
Yeah.
Because then they just get to a point where the tracks end somewhere in the southeast, and then they spread out around that area looking for us.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't know. But I'm thinking maybe don't keep following the pass down here where we'll maybe intercept them. I think maybe just like kind of like that off route.
Over the hills.
How much slower would that make us?
Probably be about half speed going through the mountains.
But I mean, we'd have to go through the mountains anyway because the other way is to go directly towards them and then cut down.
So I suppose I mean you are traveling along a road right now, so it doesn't really like in terms of like it's a fairly dirt track road anyway, so there's not that much in the way of tracks. Like if you go like kind of cut your own path, that'll be when you would be leaving tracks. It wouldn't really make you. I don't know. You'd maybe get like 6 hexes per day rather than 8. So it's
I
not that.
suppose though,
There's
like,
some slower.
if we were just like cutting across there, for example, we're all on foot anyway, and it's
Yeah.
kind of open ground, right?
Reasonably, like the open ground kind of like there's still like wherever you go, there's still like trees and stuff like that around. And you know there'll be like little hamlets and villages and thorps and stuff like that around that aren't marked on the map, that you'll encounter in like farming fields and things like that, because it is like quite a lot of scale is like used land.
Yeah.
So like but yeah, like you'd certainly be able to do it. It wouldn't be that much slower really. It's still fairly open.
Is it slower because of difficult terrain?
It would be, yeah.
Difficult terrain does not slow my group's travel.
I don't know if your group is gonna extend to 150 soldiers. It certainly wouldn't cause you guys any problem.
People, Jake?
But I suppose, well, I mean, you've got like all the Black Barb dudes as well, so like it would probably do like a fair chunk towards that.
Yeah, are all the Black Barbs rangers?
Pretty much, yeah. Like some of them will be kind of more fighters, and some of them will be like rogues, but like kind of notionally they're all rangers. Whether they actually all be like ranger classes, it's kind of difficult to say, but like, yeah, pretty much. Like, if you got the Black Barbs with you, you can probably do like half difficult terrain or whatever. So you'd probably effectively be fine, I think.
Last question is, how many hexes do we travel per day in this game?
8 hexes per day. 24 miles. So you can use the ruler because it's set up with the thing. You can measure 24 miles.
We're level 13 just now, not 14, are we?
Yes.
Next level, I can use Ultra Cell at will.
Whoa. Cool.
That was pretty cool.
That'll be useful.
What does Alter Self do?
I can turn into like if I wanted to go swim in the ocean, I could grow gills and something like that. But I can also sort of change to make myself look like basically anything else.
You can shapeshift.
Very cool.
Pretty much, yeah.
Damn.
Nice.
Will. I take it, Jake. That means whenever I want.
Yes. Sure. So, you guys doing anything else tonight, or are you just waiting for the morning?
Gonna set up like the watches, but
Sure. Yeah, you do kind of go through the usual routine, set up the watches. And...
I do have pass without trace on learned as well.
You have it as well. That's handy.
I mean, I knew it had it as a second level spell, but I'm looking at my old D&D Beyond thing, which only has like the spells that I'd learned ages ago on there. I tend to use the same ones, but yeah. So let me just double check because I think pass without trace might be a better option.
I don't think we have to cover our tracks though. It should be fine.
Yeah, you won't be able to get everyone within a pass without trace either, because it's not that much. It's like 60 feet diameter. You need like 4 or 5 people spread out casting that in order to get the whole army through. I mean, you might be able to do that. I don't know if you can do that, but
3 people.
3?
Lydia, do you have it?
Absolutely no. No.
Okay.
It's
okay.
only druid and rangers that can cast it. I just know about it because of other reasons.
I mean, how about the black barbs?
Sounds weirdly suspicious. Other reasons.
Well, I mean like out of character, like
right,
played a
sure.
druid before in a different campaign and stuff like that.
Does Zarzan know if the other rangers know pass without trace?
Once again, I don't really think it matters.
Okay then.
Well, if the other rangers did, then we could literally get rid of all of our tracks for like a couple hours, which would at least confuse the people trying to follow us.
Let's stall the order.
the black barbs, like some of them could maybe do it. You wouldn't be able to get like full. You'd be able to get like one casting, probably with the black barbs. You'd be able to get like one casting and pass without trace, which lasts an hour, and then that'd be kind of them for the day. Like
That's pretty good though. Like we can go through the pass, cast pass without trace, and then hard turn south into that forest. Make it look like we were heading east, and
It
then
still doesn't change though that due to timing, we'll probably run into that other army.
Okay. We can do it
Try
before the
that in
pass.
single file to
Right,
hide
yeah.
our numbers. Sand people style.
I say we just cut down.
Actually, tell you what, if the
That's about
footprints
24 miles.
if the footprints were leading to Ormonth, both armies would assume that we went to Ormonth. Because neither would have seen us. So we lead the footprints south to Ormonth, whereas we cast pass without trace and go over the hills. And then if there's any more footprints, then Hrafn can cover them with his plant growth, right?
Jeez.
The only problem is that at some point that the footprints towards Ormonth are going to stop as well because we're not actually going down there.
Yes, that's true. But
But
Yeah.
we'll lead them away.
Also, is the journey between like there and there an hour? So I think we'll struggle to find a point where we can cover our tracks all the way into the forest.
It doesn't have to
Oop.
be all the way because even if it's just a couple hours, that's a couple hours that they would have to look for those tracks.
plus, if we can use plant growth, then the tracks
And
would be
they've
covered.
already been led away by like an hour's path as well. That would also be good. It might be good to like get like a couple people to go the different way or something. I don't know who though, because that kind of puts them at risk.
Yeah, maybe.
Also, if our tracks just up and disappear in the middle of nowhere, they might think we've done something else, and they might just lose track of us completely because they know we have magical things going on as well.
But also, if we go towards Ormint, we may come across resistance, but maybe not because it's been left unguarded. I don't know.
Also, to throw another wrench in things, we don't know how they're tracking us.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jake.
Yeah.
If an army of people are up on a hill, is that visible from the ground?
Yeah,
That's happening.
pretty much. Like, if you can see them, they can definitely see an army. If you can't see them, then they probably can't see you either. Like, because you're kind of trying to avoid two armies. Like, if you can see them, it's probably very safe to assume that they can also see you. So, make of that what
Jake,
you will.
On these hills to our south, can we see any fog forming on the tops of them at all? Clouds or anything?
Yeah, probably, yeah. It's wintertime.
If that's a problem, Zarzan, then I could potentially cast Fog Cloud, but it only does a 20-foot radius sphere, so maybe others can cast it as well. Maybe we could cover the whole army, but it's a good point. They would see an entire army on a hill. To be fair, if their army comes to the ends of our tracks, and this is after we passed about traced and covered up our tracks and stuff. If they don't know where we are, then we know they're physically tracking us. If they do know where we are, then we know they have another means of tracking us. And if that's the case, we know we're looking for something.
Jake, is there any way for me to tell if we're being spied on magically? Is that a thing?
Pretty sure there is a way, but I don't actually know what it would be. I feel like there might be a spell you can do. True Seeing lets you see if you're being scryed on. You can see the sensor. And you've got an amulet that means that people can't look at you specifically in the day, I think. Is that right?
Yes. I
Did you
don't
give
think.
that to
I think.
Salty?
Yeah, I think I give that to Salty.
There's also the Guards and Wards spell that you can use to just block people from.
Yeah, I was thinking
Seeing you?
about using that, but it's only the spell is very worded to be an indoors type
Yeah, I
thing.
think it is, isn't it?
So I don't know how that would work doing it outdoors. I would like to try though if I can.
I think you can do it outdoors. I think it's fine.
Do you want to use True Sight to see if
Oh,
anyone
no,
is
it's
being
kinda-
spied on first?
I do not have true sight.
Patrick does. Or Rurik does.
True Sight, yeah, I can do that.
So that's how we were looking for strings before.
How many spell levels do we have?
How many spell levels?
Sorry, what's the highest spell level we can cast?
7th.
7th. Okay. Because I just found out that I can make Fog Cloud way bigger.
Oh, if you cast it at a higher level.
Yeah, so
Nice.
every level above first is another 20 feet. So cast at 7th level is 6 extra levels. 6 times 20 is 120. Plus the original 20. I can create an 140-foot radius sphere of fog. That's 280 diameter. Would that
Okay.
cover the whole army?
That's a little shy of 100 meters.
The 7th as high as it goes totally.
It's
Yeah.
not a lot.
Because it
Also,
can cast reverse
trying-
gravity.
Spherical fog moving in a specific direction might
Well, I
be a
don't-
little suspicious.
I don't imagine it's a, Valorant smoke, it's a perfect sphere. It's probably lays a little bit. But if you could arrange the army to fill a circle, I bet it would cover the whole thing.
How many people do we have?
You got 160 right now.
60 left.
Easy.
I don't think Guards and Wards does the thing I thought it did. It does seem to be
Okay.
for an indoor space, and it doesn't seem to do anything about scrying. There is another thing that doesn't, though, I'm sure. There'll be an abjuration spell.
Could use the fog cloud where the tracks end, just to confuse them a little. There are options. There's plenty of things we can do. What would you like to do, Naren?
Me,
It's your army. You make the final call.
first, I would like you to use True Sight to look at specifically myself and Zorgar.
Okay.
Perhaps Balax and Sora as well.
That's
So I feel like it's most likely to be one of us who's been spied on.
Okay. True seeing? True sight?
True Sight, I think.
True seeing is what
True seeing.
I think.
That's the one. It's a 6th level divination. So if I go to my 6th level spells, I have to prepare. So Jake is okay if I
Yeah,
take
that's
some
fine.
time to prepare. Okay, thank you. So then I'll take the time and just prepare True Seeing. I'm not going to take off replace on my list because it's just a temporary one-time cast. If
Yeah,
that's all right, Jake.
That's fine. And you guys are gonna take a rest soon, anyway. So that, yeah.
If we need to change terrain or hide terrain, I'm just looking at 7th level spells. I can cast Mirage Arcane, which makes terrain in an area up to 1 mile square look, sound, smell, and even feel like some other sort of terrain. So make it look like something completely different.
Very cool. What if you could make it look like a camp? Would that be of any use?
I could make it look like a camp that had been departed, maybe.
Yeah.
Last for 10
Right.
days. Like,
Yeah. To cast True Seeing, I need components. This is what we had trouble with last time.
Well,
I
if
need.
you bought it
So
once,
it's a
you should...
diamond encrusted bullshit.
No, not the bowl.
Does the spell say it's consumed? Because
Yes.
if it's not, and you've already used... Oh, it does.
Yes.
Dang.
I need an ointment for the eyes that costs 25 gold pieces, is made from mushroom powder, saffron, and fat, and is consumed by the spell.
I think
So-
we could make that for mushrooms.
We,
mushroom.
Oh, weird spell.
We certainly have mushroom powder,
It does.
saffron, and fat.
Yeah, we gotta find saffron on scale.
Now, I can also trust Fraffin to make an ointment for the eyes. I'm sure he could like make this up for us, if that's all right.
Fat's
brilliant.
easy. We got meat.
Yeah, we
We
can
can
do
get
we can do the
fat.
fat
Oh, yeah, I
It's the
remember us doing
saffron.
this last time.
saffron. Now, Jake, saffron is definitely grown on scale, isn't it? It's it's a
Fucking saffron.
certainly a scalar
saffron's good.
herb, right?
I want to cast Reverse Gravity. That looks fun.
Is saffron the flowers? The 3 buds from a flower?
It's
It's like
stamen,
little
yeah.
red
Yeah.
things, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
little
it's-
strands.
The sort of stamen things from whatever flower.
Yes, yeah. You only get 3 of them in a flower, and you have to pick them out by hand.
Why
It's
they're so
5 grand
expensive.
per kilo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's quite expensive.
Fuck.
it's
Just
here,
use turmeric.
absolutely a scalar spice, isn't it, Jake? We certainly find it here on scale.
I feel like it would be exotic and scaly like that.
Yeah, you might find it on scale. You'd probably find it on scale or Alethor, probably, if there's anywhere.
So scale.
Yeah, but Althor.
Right,
Jazz
Naren,
is inferior.
how about you send someone into Ormonth? Get us some saffron.
Would I have saffron? I'm just thinking if I would
I
have
can't.
it as part of.
Look at me.
I'm not wanting anyone to go into the enemy city. If it's a herb that grows on scale, we can fucking just pick it up. We're
I need,
walking for
20, I need
days.
25 gold pieces worth, and you want this done like today?
I mean, if
Sorry,
it's
you
Harvest
want
next
someone-
year.
You want someone to go all the way to Ormonth, buy spices, come back, and then do the plan when we're trying to outrun someone.
That's a good point. Okay, so I don't exactly have a good proposition of how to get the components for this spell.
Also, if it's like 5 grand for a kilo, then how much do we really have to collect?
It doesn't say the proportions.
It's
Maybe
expensive.
just
You don't need a
one
lot.
pinch, you know? Maybe it's 25 gold
That's
worth of
in
fat.
that's in our world. It's $5 a kilo. Like in scale, it might be cheap as chips.
Don't say
Jake.
that.
Then you would
What's
need a
for
lot.
dinner,
You need
Mammy?
you still,
Saffron and chips again.
A kilo is a shit ton of saffron.
Yeah.
It was quite a lot.
No, you don't need very much. Like it's like.
A little bit goes a long way.
Oh no, hang on. So how much did you say it is 25 gold?
25 gold pieces worth. That's the ointment for the eyes.
Okay.
It's made up of mushroom powder, saffron, and fat.
All right. Well, saffron's obviously the most expensive thing in there. So that's about like 250 quid
Wow,
worth of
fat's
ointment.
pretty good.
So that's
Goose
what
fat.
20. What's the 20th of a kilo? 50 grams.
Yeah.
That's how much saffron you need.
50 grams.
50 grams of saffron.
Yeah.
All right, someone's a mess.
Right, the Tesco saffron. If you were to get 50 grams,
Oh my
It's
god.
not
that's
actually math this
310
out.
pounds.
300
Jesus.
quid.
Yeah.
Jesus fuck.
That's a lot of quids.
Oh.
So what's 310 pounds to gold pieces?
That's about 31
Does
gold
that,
pieces.
does that work out? Ooh.
Yeah, that's about the price. Okay.
It's
Jesus.
not far
Yeah.
off.
But yeah, those little jars that have fuck all saffron in them, you would need. They're £3.10 each, so you would need about
100.
100
10.
of them.
100 of them.
All right, 50 grams feels a bit unrealistic now, even though I did the maths.
Right. Either way. Now,
If you find
want-
saffron, we'll say any minute it's
Buy a
fine.
big jar of that.
Is it like a lot of most of the people who are here live on scale? So how common is saffron to come across, and does it grow in the hills?
It's
or
not
is
really
it-
like I mean, give us a nature check now.
I'm probably gonna be asking like a ranger from.
Okay, you have advantages then.
Nature with advantage. Okay. I feel like I could have done better. Can I use lucky?
Yeah, if you want, yeah.
Oof.
Does that mean I reroll 1?
Yeah.
That's how lucky works.
Oh.
Sake.
Oh.
You know, like it definitely grows here somewhere. I think it grows in the capital, in the markets. I've seen it growing there before.
I guess over our days of travel, I'll just have the rangers specifically keeping an eye out.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, they can.
I
absolutely do that.
I figured out what the spell is to not be seen. It's the private sanctum one, which I don't have. So
So we can find out someone is watching us and then not be able to do anything about it. Yep, that's how they're tracking us. Cool.
no, well, private sanctum would be the thing that would actually stop them from being able to see us. But I don't have it. So if I wanted to have it, I would have to teleport back to the capital and then come back here, which would eat. The only way to do that would be have Haraffin help me, which I can't really do because we need those plant teleports for the
troops.
So yeah, it's not happening.
Jake, are some of
Yes.
these spells not in the spell book? That I'm seeing spells in here that.
Yeah, D&D Beyond will have spells from all the different books and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
I guess we just
Did not know. I like these
start
investiture
traveling
of.
again tomorrow. And then we hope we find Saffron on the way.
Mhm.
You maybe try and give them the slip at some point. But we just try and make it to the trees as quickly as possible, I think.
So you're just going like southeast, is that right? Or like kind of like south and then over the mountains? Okay, sure.
Is it reasonable we could travel that in a day?
No,
Because it's 24.
it'll take you at least a day to cross the mountain range. You can definitely make it. You could be on the mountain by this time tomorrow.
Okay, sure. I guess we'll just have to only transport, was it 20 people without a big tree?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay. You guys are just kind of waiting for the night, is that right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. So you guys, yeah, you have a lie down. You know, get pretty well rested. You know, Balax is up, cracking the whip every morning, 6 a.m. At dawn, everyone's just getting. He's like, you know, chop chop, what we get. You know, getting everyone up and sorted. Saros is kind of doing the same for his troops. Over the next few days, it'll be like over the next few days, it'll become clearer to Naren certainly, and probably to Balax as well. That this dude is like he is a captain in a way that Balax isn't. Like he has like there's something about him like the way he just is.
Balax jealous.
A little bit. You probably will find out. You know, like as Saros and his troops become more integrated and more comfortable, you'll probably find that Saros will start doing most of the like army management, assuming that's something you're all right with. And Balax will probably form more of a kind of like a lieutenant position. Like, you know, people you might find that people will start going to Balax to ask him like meaningless, boring questions like pasta versus meat. So he'll kind of like he'll be like your PA, right?
God, he's getting demoted.
A little bit, but also, you know, like he'll probably like I imagine it's kind of up to you. It's your army, you know, but he'll probably be like Saros will probably be taking care of like the drilling, and like you know all the the marching and stuff like that. But like Balax will be like the one who tells him what to teach him and stuff like that. So like you know, Balax will be Naren's lieutenant, and Saros will kind of be Balax's lieutenant.
I see.
If that makes sense. That's probably what you'll start to find over the next few days. That's kind of the way things actually kind of gravitate towards. Like Saros is already doing that for the troops that he brought with him, but then kind of people kind of the other troops they kind of like sort of like start looking to him for leadership in a lot of respects. But anyways, you wake up the next morning, you know, you have your breakfast and stuff, and you're kind of ready to get on with the day's tasks. So are you shifting people and then walking? Or are you walking and shifting people partway through? Or what is your
I guess
process?
we're walking until we see somewhere through the day the biggest tree we think we're going to see that day.
Sure, okay.
And we keep an eye out and we're like, oh, that's a good tree.
Okay.
I have an idea which revolves around the path without a trace thing. We can get the tracks just completely disappear for an hour or whatever. I can leave a programmed illusion right where the tracks stop. That could be us as a party. We appear in a cloud of smoke when the enemy army arrives, and we're like, guess what? We've taken our army straight to Ormith. This is your warning.
That sounds great.
Later, and then we disappear in a cloud of smoke because we're
Snap our fingers.
yeah, because we're magical, cool.
You say like you shouldn't have left Ormond unguarded or something. We're heading there. It's ours now.
Just thought we'd like you know.
And then that might actually get them. We might try and reinforce Ormith some more, and then it'll distract while we're trying to go like the complete opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
That's a good idea. Oh.
Oh,
Hello.
Oh,
hello?
hello. Sorry, that came around.
Welcome.
Welcome.
What I miss?
Walking.
Not much, to be honest.
Walking, yes.
We have just been strategizing. That's really been it.
Yeah.
It's fine. We have a plan, kind of. We're looking for saffron.
What the
Mm-hmm.
ingredient?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You don't have
Why?
to have the saffron on you, do you?
No, no.
That's a shame.
You know,
I mean-
I always pack saffron, just not this trip. You know, I'm sorry.
The one time we really needed that mirror.
I'm sorry. Listen, there's just been a lot. You know, Lamo's Speedo, not Lamo.
Your lamb's
Well,
been no
Ramo.
saffron.
He ate it all, and it was a whole thing.
Is saffron spicy? I don't know.
It
I need
doesn't
it
look
for-
spicy.
No, it doesn't look spicy.
You're supposed to like take it and put it in a what's it called? Pestle and mortar? Is that how you say it?
Smash it up.
With like oil and some stuff to make it into like a paste or something. Maybe it's water, I can't remember.
I remember looking at a recipe and then going, "Oh, we could get some of that at the shops," and then it's just like that. It's like 10 quid. I'm like, maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know what it tastes like.
I'm not sure if it tastes of anything.
Actually.
What is
Quite
it?
often used for it doesn't really have much of a taste. I don't think it's mostly used for colour.
Oh. I know that.
Like you put a wee bit of saffron and milk or whatever, it'll turn it sort of pinky red.
Wow.
It's also got quite a scent to it as well, right?
I think that's jasmine, no? I don't know.
Sorry, Jake, go ahead.
I started that. I didn't know where I was going with it.
Get a jar of it for $5.99 on Amazon.
Right. So is my idea of us stopping the tracks of the army and then putting a program delusion down good or not good?
I'm at the stage where I say we just fucking do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you feel about a giant fog cloud around the army as we're going over the hill?
Once again,
Also-
once we reach that place, sure, we wing it. We see what happens.
Okay.
I just want to start moving and start doing.
Okay. So we're moving south to look like we're going towards
Southeast.
Ormond.
Well, yeah.
I thought we were just gonna hide our tracks, so if we're doing...
But we need the Ormond thing to look like we're going towards Ormond, so we head south, and then we head east, right?
Okay.
Are we near any
feel like that's
farms?
a waste of time though, because our main priority is transporting people. So the sooner we get to these big trees, the sooner we can move more people quicker.
Yeah, plus the thing I'm doing with my program delusion is trying to tell them that we're going to Ormond anyway. And that we've teleported there, and that's why the tracks aren't there.
Okay.
We also established fairly early on, if we're following a main track, then it's not like they could track us anyway, because it's a well-trodden path anyway.
Right. Okay. Sure. Yeah. Fair enough. Well, let's do the illusion, and I'm sure that'll be enough.
Okay. What am I gonna say? Okay. I'm gonna... So, I would say get everyone to start moving and have all the pacifier traces going. Like now, just to make sure. And then where we rested is the best place to put the program delusion. Could be the last bit where we've just fucking decimated where we are basically because we've been walking around in one bit. So somewhere fairly obvious, I would say, like just in like the middle, I guess. I'm gonna cast program delusion. It will spring into existence when a condition I specify occurs, and I would like that condition to be when the enemy army approaches.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
Was basically it can be a 30-foot cube is how big it can be. So is that enough to like have the whole party just suddenly appear like kablam? Okay, we're all gonna suddenly appear in a very big magical show of whoa, look how great magic we are. And I guess I'm going to make Naren say that. Naren, what should you say to get them to go to Ornament? I need to hear your voice so I can program it.
What was the guy's name again? Karth?
Yeah.
That gives away the ways of justice disguised thing. I don't care. I'm shoving it in his
At
face.
this
Fuck
point,
that
aren't
bitch.
we
He
just
had us. I guess it would just be like, start with just Karth. I see you're tracking us. I'm afraid you're too far behind though. We'll reach Ormond long before you. It turns out there's no adventurer's license, you lying dick.
Sure. Okay. Is that the extent of your thing?
If that's all,
Blunt.
that's all he's saying, I'm gonna do make Lido do a cool, quick spell that teleports us all out of there. It's a big sigil on the ground or something.
Sure. Okay.
We all go poof, out of there.
Sure. So, Lita starts casting the spell, and Naren dictates to her, like, this is what I'm gonna say. It's like, and then some big flash, and Lita starts, chanting and casting, tracing sigils on her hand, and then you guys see, in this area in front of you, you see kind of the animation play, the illusion. There's this big cloud of smoke, and then you're all there. Are you just having them all look like you normally, or are you like kind of like beefing up the the deal, like
Yeah, I'm
getting
gonna
some
just
cake
look cooler.
going? Yeah, okay, sure. So
just
yeah,
slightly though, not ridiculously so. Just kind of like so that we look like we could actually just like teleport anywhere we wanted,
sure.
whenever.
So like Zorgar's cape, like it flaps sideways like Superman. There's like rim lighting on his armor. He looks he's like a couple inches taller than he really is. His axe is on fire. Naren's there. Is I don't know what would Naren do. Like his scarf's also blowing in the wind. Lida's got like
scarf.
Oh no, he has a scarf in the art. So that's what I was going.
Cool.
The art you drew, yeah, he's got a scarf. The one that you 3D, the one where you literally were like, I'm modeling the scarf right now, and sent me an image of it. I was like, yep, that's a scarf. Like I mean, like I'll friggin' you can see it in there in this thing. Where is he?
Oh wait, you mean in the armor one?
Yeah, like the art of Naren, like he's got a scarf in it.
Oh right, no, I was still thinking about the piratey blue thing. Like, that's not a scarf. That's a tunic.
No, like the he's got the thing going on in the art. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't have that in real life. I don't know anymore. He looks cool. He's
the illusion is broken.
I'm gonna make the trigger for the illusion be the front of the army is within like 30 feet or something.
Sure, okay.
Rather than just the army in general, because after the thing is done, after 10 minutes it resets and it can be activated again. So I don't want it to just like activate while the rest of the army are like walking through it once they start walking past.
Ah, okay, sure, yeah.
Just appear in the middle of them while they're walking.
Yeah. And that means if the second army also comes by at a different time, that will also play for them.
Sure,
Which
okay.
could be good.
Or if just a random traveler comes along.
No, it's specifically army.
Fuck you, Karth.
Sure, okay, so yeah, Lita, she cools you up, like, you know, like the staff's a bit taller and burns, you know, the fire's a bit brighter in it. You know, you guys are all windswept. There's like kind of like ambient sparkles and stuff like drifting around behind you, like embers and things like that, as if you look badass. And this loop plays in there, and you know, delivering this message, and then but snaps her fingers, and you all vanish in like this like flare of arcane light, and the illusion is like kind of primed on that spot, ready to go as soon as it's triggered. Then what is your guys' plan? You heading off?
Yeah, pacified a trace, all optimized and shit, and we're walking.
Sure. Okay.
Wait until we're getting over this wee section.
What do
Cut
you mean?
the road. I don't know. Never mind. Let's just see how it goes.
One sec. Where's Fogcloud again? Right. Would you like the Fogcloud thing when we're going over the hill?
Are we going to reach the hills today?
You reach the hills, yeah.
Are we going to start going over the hills today?
Probably, yeah.
Well, it's a
Like
problem
you'll
for later in
reach the
day,
hill
anyway.
at like lunchtime, probably.
Okay. Nara will answer your question when we get to the hills.
All right then.
Oh wait, are we not? Okay, I don't know. I'm gonna make sure. I'm gonna make the illusion when we're actually casting pacified trace. Then I guess.
Sure.
'Cause
Okay.
I was under impression we were doing that straight away, but I don't know if we are. Are we doing it straight away?
Yes.
Okay, then never mind.
Okay. So, lit it is the thing.
Yes.
And then you guys are heading off with Path Without Trace activated. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head south along the road. Leave everything behind. A couple hours go by. You kind of leave the road and head south, and you reach a point where you're like, you can see the hill in the distance, and you're like, this is probably about as big a tree as we're gonna find today. Seems to be the executive judgment of a few of the kind of knowledgeable people. Like Zarzan probably doesn't reckon there'll be a bigger tree around on the route you're planning to take today.
Okay.
It's still not like a big enough
This is
tree,
our tree.
but it's it's still a perfectly serviceable tree. It's not a huge tree, but you can get your 10 watts per cast into this one.
I guess, yeah. Can I show it off to Ceres? And do the vetting procedure, obviously, beforehand.
Sure, okay.
For the people going through.
Sure. Yeah, he watches it. He's like, he looks pretty impressed, actually. He's like, yeah, okay, well, I mean, they won't see that coming. How does that work?
We have a druid. That's the extent of how it works.
All right. It's like, cool. Takes your word for it. So what are the questions you're asking when you're vetting again?
Oh,
Are you a spy, and do you have any intent to betray this group?
Sure, okay. So the first group goes off without a hitch. They all are like, no. Through the street. And Rurek, you notice in the second group there is one who tries and successfully resists the zone of truth.
I'll pull him out.
Tackle him, tackle him, tackle him.
man, you made a
I'm
mistake.
gonna go pull that man aside.
Right, who are you?
Are you having the other dudes go through, or?
Yeah,
Probably a good idea.
we're just pulling the other guy to the side for now. We'll vet everyone, make sure everyone says all their
well-
yes and everything.
Not gonna send them through just yet. I'm just gonna talk
Sure.
to this guy first.
Yeah, the other dudes are like, whoa, what the fuck? Jesus.
Right.
You didn't even do anything. What's going on?
Or Bay likes to come over, and then I also want name and rank off this guy.
I have everything written down, not I'm very organized.
Can you give us a perception check now?
I'm using the lucky.
Okay.
Oh,
Can I reasonably
that's
give
better.
+6 to perception check? Is that
Not on this one. This is a specific
Okay.
24.
24. Okay.
not needed?
So you look at him, and you're like, man, I recognize this motherfucker. You're like, where the fuck do I recognize him from? And he's kind of like, and then you you look at him like a little bit longer, and you recognize this dude. He was he was the one survivor from the Green Dragon's lair that you rescued. And he kind of he sort of stares you down.
Wait, from the who that we rescued?
When you went to the Green Dragon's there was one legionary that survived. This is that dude.
Oh shit. Okay. Oh fuck.
Or at least you're pretty sure he is. Like you recognize him from somewhere. Pretty sure that's where.
So he's the one who lost his body. He's the survivor.
Yeah. And he just kind of stares you down.
Why
Change.
did you resist the spell? Do you have something to hide?
Says I have nothing to hide.
Then step in again and don't resist this time.
Sure, he steps in. Right, you feel him resist.
Marin, he's still resistant.
Aaron clocks him.
Sure, this guy put down a sack of potatoes. You're like, you punch him and you're you get does Naren wear gauntlets?
I don't think so. No.
Okay, yeah, you're like the way the way your bigger scales are, you've got almost built-in knuckle dusters, and you clock this guy and you actually draw blood. He collapses on the ground, and he kind of scrambles forward. And by this point, there's a crowd forming.
I'll pull him to his feet now. I want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
You haven't asked for anything yet, to be fair.
Well,
He said, I don't know what you're talking
he's
about.
resisting. Relax, do you know this man?
Yes, sir. It's kind of looks at me. He's a private Torvax. And he nods. He says, "I see you don't remember."
Well, I remember him from the Green Dragon's lair.
Kind of just stares you down. He just touches his temple.
That soldier we lost that day, was he a close friend of yours?
Says, "What do you mean, soldier? There was 5 of us."
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Do you have any spells that can pry?
Look at that up. Also, quick question: what dragon was first? Was it the black or the green one?
Black Dragon first.
Green was second.
Okay.
Do you just not wish to be a part of this army? Because that's fine. If you're harboring ill will, but it's mainly just not particularly betraying us, but you're just kind of pissed off with how we've handled things. That's fair enough. You don't have to be following us. But if you are doing something that could potentially be betraying our location or our motives or our plans, that's a problem.
Can I, like, this whole time he just stares Naren, like, straight in the eyes. And he says, I know.
He's got an issue with you, buddy.
Jake, can I have a look around and see if there's anyone else that's looking shifty, like they've been found out, or is walking away?
No, if anything, people are gathering in. We're trying to see all this, what's going on.
Okay.
The drama. Can I get someone to remind me of what happened in that green dragon sitch? Because I do not remember.
I just remember the lady.
This is from before you
died.
guys were there. Before you guys were there, myself, Zorgar, and a small scouting crew went up.
Oh.
Is that correct? Am I misremembering? We went up beforehand, yeah.
Hey, did you?
And then we went through the forest with 5 soldiers.
You didn't really inform us. Are you saying that 4 of the 5 people you went up with died?
Yes.
Oh, I don't remember this.
You did not tell us that.
Because, like, I might be misremembering this account as the lady there, but oh, okay. Oof. Yeah, I
No,
can see why
remember
you
we saved the
How?
one guy. He was the other guy in the cage, was this guy.
So they
Think-
all got taken.
Jake, thinking back to the cave, was there Dragonborn bodies in 8th Legion armor to be remembered?
Nope.
Would have eaten them, wouldn't he?
Nope.
Would have eaten
Fair.
them whole.
Probably, yeah. Well, that makes sense.
What happened? Because he seems pretty pissed.
Well, his friends died.
I basically split us up into multiple groups of 2 or 3, I think it was, and had people search up the river. Some of them didn't
Go
return.
on.
We went up, myself and Zorgar, we were supposed to regroup at the ship. 5 of them didn't return. So Zorgar and I went out looking for them. Tried to stealth, but it turns out Zorgar has a really shiny set of armor.
Yep.
We started fighting snake people, but we were outmatched, so we had to retreat.
Outmatched?
And then
Outnumbered. There was a lot of them. There was also kobolds, but
Ah, yes.
they were less of a threat.
Kobolds.
Gek's dad was there.
Jake's dad was there.
That was when all of us were up there, though, I think, right?
Yeah.
I do not remember.
Mhm.
what happened next?
I don't know. It was a long time ago. I also think
How
I'm
did this
getting the
guy?
2
How
different
did
times
this guy
mixed
come
up.
get to be here?
When we fought the green dragon, we found them in the cave, right, Jake?
So we found one dude in a cage, and then the other 4 people weren't to be seen, and we rescued this
Assumed
guy.
dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, is Naren resisting the zone of truth?
Wait, Naren? What?
You're in the zone of truth.
No one's asked me a question.
No, but you can't speak a lie. It's that you don't have to be asking a question, you just have to be in the zone.
Okay, well,
Well,
Naren's
he
not resisting
wasn't
it
told
because
he
he's
was
the
going to be
one.
in.
Yeah,
Naren's
just
the one
wondering.
asking the questions.
No, you're giving a story there. You're giving a statement.
Yeah, but he wasn't told before he told that story he was in the zone of truth. There was no...
That's true. Sorry. Yeah, that's my mistake.
Also,
can I
actually,
use
Naren
the-
probably would resist it if he was in there. Just saying.
Yep.
He says, snake. Can I use the helm of telepathy on this guy? That
Yeah.
probably did. Sorry, what did you say? I cut out.
Yeah, you can bust the helmet telepathy on this guy.
Can I use... So that's detect thoughts, and then it says, while focusing on a creature with detect thoughts, you can use an action to cast suggestion.
Okay.
And I guess that
Just
suggestion would
tells
be
the
tell the truth. Yeah. D&D Beyond's been really weird for me. It's not giving me my spell list, so I'm trying to sort of at the same time, but I remember that's... Anyway, yeah.
Hey, I believe it's HR meeting time. How has your warlord betrayed you?
The HR
What
in
was-
this army is now his fist.
Oh god.
What was the time between him being captured and us rescuing him?
Quite a while.
How long?
Oh, this
We-
has
want a
been
time.
seen some shit.
Do you know it? Do you know how long it was?
Matthew doesn't remember because we did this quest. We
Jake,
did
how
this
long would it be?
scouting so long ago. Never mind into a dragon.
Like, is this Zarzan asking Naren?
This is Niall asking because we would know when we went and
It
we
was-
would
You
know
would
when
know.
the scouting happened and when we rescued him.
It's like a month or two. Because you
Yeah.
guys went to
And-
do the dragon. Well, like Naren and Zorga went up there. Then you guys fucked off and did all the Grey Thunder stuff, and then you looked back and were like, we should go do that dragon.
Oh, no, that was a
Oh.
solo thing. I thought you meant this is just before we went in, because like I don't remember people scouting.
No,
at the
they did a
dragon.
whole-
This was during
months
our free
ago.
time.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Also,
Oh,
You
wasn't it
abandoned him
the-
for up to 2 months.
No, we thought they were all dead. To be fair, because the Snake Man told us they were dead.
This man managed
for
to
some reason,
survive for a
Naren, the
month.
Master Smuggler, believed him.
So
Oh,
he's
that guy
either
fucked up.
completely fucked up from just pure PTSD of seeing all of his comrades die and get eaten by a dragon while also being kept in a cage by that dragon, or he made a deal with that dragon and that's how he managed to survive that long. We've got two options. But from the way he's looking at Naren, I'm guessing it's probably just the first one. It could be either.
I mean, does the spell of suggesting him to tell the truth do anything?
Like, you're not really giving him a, like, you've just been like, tell the truth, you're not telling the truth. You're resisting telling the truth. You're not giving, he's just been like
No
you've
one's
not
asking
asked him a
anything.
question or anything, so there's nothing for him to, like, he doesn't know the context in which the truth needs to be said.
Which part of the statement, or which part of the question do you not agree with? Do you intend to betray this group?
He says it's not a matter of intention.
Already
You,
have?
you already
Oh.
have.
He nods.
Is he a spy?
Do you wanna explain how?
He kind of just goes on a bit of a diatribe. Actually, he kind of like you can see him kind of like he's breaking down a bit. He says 6 weeks in that cell. I was there for 6 weeks. I subsisted on maggots and dirt.
Someone try and break up this crowd and so they don't hear this. I feel like this is gonna
Because
be
the
bad.
ones I called brothers abandoned me. You left me to rot and die. And he's all of you.
No, I don't think send the troops away, keep them around.
He says, that dragon
We
whispered
thought-
lies in my ears for days on end, told me how I would die cold and alone in that cell, that the Legion were not coming back for me. I almost wish he was telling the truth, because then I would not have to live with the knowledge that gold is more important to my commander and company than my life.
We were led to believe that you were dead. The gold was to fund the army so that we could be here.
He spits
so
in
that
your
we could
face.
Do this. Now fucking clocks him again.
Yikes.
Sure. So, like, so I'm imagining that like Naren has him by the scruff this whole time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. Like absolutely. Like he
Probably lets him go with the punch though.
yeah. Like he just hits the ground like is like knocked out for like 10-15 seconds, and he kind of pushes himself back to his feet. You see his eye is like bruising.
So you would have everybody else in this company dead.
I would have you know some of the measure of the pain that I have felt. Do you even know their names?
No, I
What a
don't.
loud silence.
Oh no.
He shakes his head. He says, he looks at everyone else. Like everyone else is like, I don't know what the fuck. You see Saros at the back is like, Jesus, what the fuck am I doing? Nishan is like standing there with like her mouth like covered over. He says, he kind of shakes his head. He says, "You are no leader. You are no king.
I'd never claimed to be.
You are a
king.
heartless and selfish thief, stealing gold, time, and blood from those around you. You will wring these back for everything they are worth, and you will leave Scale a burning husk. And you will only care about the weight of your coin purse. So yes, Keldrath know everything. I am proud of my part in it. I am proud that you know it was me."
That's how you feel about me. How do you feel about Zorgar?
He spits on the ground.
Okay. How much have you told them? What have you told them?
Everything.
Okay. Well,
I hope
it's
you will
good that I
enjoy
didn't
picking
tell
over
you
the
very
wreckage
much
of your
then,
ship,
isn't it?
Captain.
Wait, you told them what?
He didn't say anything, he just stares at you.
Matt didn't hear that. Did he just say he told them where the ship was?
He said, you asked him, what are you telling me? He said, everything. I hope you enjoy picking over the wreckage of your ship, Captain.
He now definitely fucking clocks him again for that.
So he goes down. But he kind of like falls to like his hands and knees. And he kind of pushes himself back up to his feet. You can see there's like blood running down like all over his face. Like his eye is like swollen shut at this point. He turns. He says, "You will have to kill me, Commander. You'll have to show these
Why?
back who you really are."
Why would I kill you? I'm just going to leave you for Keldrath. You don't know anything that can harm.
Again?
You don't know anything that can harm the mission now. You don't know where we're going. You don't know what the plan is.
I invite you to test that assumption at your nearest convenience.
Can I, with detect thoughts, can I see if he thinks he does know where we're going?
Yeah,
Or,
you
you
feel
know-
like he's definitely like, yeah, I know exactly where they're going.
Okay.
How though?
I assume he's been snooping around.
But only the party really knew. And Balex.
If he's been contacting the other tribe, or the clan, sorry, then maybe they gave him something, a magical item perhaps, a potion, something to help him spy on us. Jake, can I cast Detect Magic?
Yeah, he's not got any magic on him.
Okay, he's
Just a
no
dude.
magic items.
Just a guy.
How have you been contacting them?
He just stares at you.
You said that he was scratching his temple, if that means anything.
That's where he got punched. So like it might be something, but that's also like kind of, you know.
Can I kind of whisper to Lida, like, maybe modify memory would help us in this situation?
What memory do you think I should modify?
I don't know.
Because
My
that whole
last 2 years of this
I
month.
can yeah, I can't modify a full 2 months. I can do 10 minutes.
You know, slightly lessen the blow a little bit.
He starts kind of like addressing the troops around you. He's like, he kind of starts trying to get like them. He kind of points at Nair and he says, "Is this who you would follow? Is this who you would lay down your lives for? When he will treat you just the same as he treated me?" And they'll kind of like look at each other and kind of like look at murmuring. He says, "He is not the man we thought he was.
We rescued you. What are you talking about?
You did not rescue me. You rescued the gold from the dragon. Do not pretend it was about me.
No.
Do you even know my name?"
I'm a bit hazy. I can't even understand what you're saying at the moment. I'm just gonna stay up.
I mean, if you address him in common, he addresses you back in common.
Oh, okay.
And to be honest, this whole thing is probably delivered in common actually, because like he knows that you guys are.
Interesting that you try and sway all of your fellow soldiers after having betrayed them and put their lives at risk.
Yeah, to
As
be
if-
fair, you did just try and get an army on them. You know, I wouldn't particularly listen to you if I was in their shoes.
He kind of actually like when Rurak confirms it, he turns around and he walks up to Rurak. He says, "I will hear nothing from you."
Naren is staying fairly silent during this whole ordeal.
It was your temple that was prioritized over my life.
Live your life as you will. I'll step back.
I think that we should. I don't know what we should do, but I know that what this man has gone through is reason enough for what he has done.
Yeah, there's a couple of things that need to be addressed. But first we just have to deal with this. Naren's
That's what I'm
probably
I'm talking to this man.
Ah,
I'm not saying that out of character, I'm
Ah.
saying that in character.
I thought you were saying that.
That's what. Sorry, what did you say, Tim?
I said that the things that he's done is, considering what he has gone through, is warranted.
Wait, when you say he, are you talking about Naren or are you talking about this dude?
This dude. The betrayal is understandable, knowing the betrayal you have felt.
He nods.
I would not wish anyone to have to stay in a cage for that long, especially with a creature like that. And I don't think there's anything we can do to make that back.
Naren, sorry, go ahead.
My only I have done a lot of reflecting in the past wee while, and I know our group has done a lot of bad. We've done quite a lot of quite honestly fucked up shit in the name of glory and gold. But I do feel a shift. I feel like we are starting to move in the right direction. I feel like, so sometimes I'm not sure if this is the right thing we're doing right now, quite honestly. But I know this man we're trying to take down is quite a bad man. I think the only thing we could do for you now is just let you be free of this life. That's not saying I want to kill you, by the way. I'm saying I would rather just give you gold and let you go and find a life and live peacefully. I know it would be hard with the stuff you've gone through. Especially all of us have gone through a lot of fucked up shit as well. I would my only hope would be that you could find a life of peace.
Do you know what the worst part was?
No.
You didn't even need the Legion. And he starts like crying. One eye is kind of swollen, so he's like,
I mean, at this point, Naren probably proclaims he's made mistakes and that he is a murderer and a thief. But that his goals for scale are the same as everybody else here. He doesn't seek profit from this. And that he's just gonna... nobody is forced to follow me or Zorgar or stay here. It's your own choice. But all I can say is we're here for good reason. And then he's got to tell... are any of his Elite Four here?
basically everyone who's anyone right now is here.
I sent one of them off in the beginning to set up the new place, didn't I?
Oh, I think so.
Sent off Sargo.
Yeah, probably that would make sense.
Anyway, I tell them to just time up for now. And then I'm going to call upon the War Council or whatever it is.
Sure, okay.
To have a meet.
They restrain him. He kind of like he resists a bit, but like it's not really something you can really do. Like you've got that guy Froth. He's huge. Like he just like manhandles him. Yeah, I guess if he's getting tied up, then the army kind of like disperse a bit. They kind of you hear them all murmuring to one another amongst themselves. Kind of go, geez, that was a bit.
I'm gonna go hero's punch wind.
He kind of like if you walk over to try, he kind of like turns away. It's like tries to like kind of resist your advances.
My advances.
Your healing advances. That was kind of a bit phrasing, not really on that one.
If he keeps like putting up a fight, I won't bother.
Yeah, he's not thrashing around. He's like,
yeah, I'll just be like, okay.
Don't give me your pity.
Good. You know what? Fair enough, dude. You've seen some shit.
Fair enough, but not fair enough to throw everybody else under the bus. Like, what he's going through is understandable, but it's not fair on everybody else. Sure, it's maybe fair on Naren and Zorgar, it's not fair on the rest of the troops.
You can't really not fuck over the troops without fucking you over them. Or the other way around. You can't fuck you over without fucking the troops over. That's kind of the nature of it.
Doesn't make it fair, though.
Yeah, but there's all kind of the fairness of his whole sitch. But whatever, it's fine.
Naren is assembling the council.
Sure, so who's on your council these days?
Myself, Sora, Balax, I guess now, I've already forgotten his name.
Saros?
Soren? Saros, there we go. Saros is part of the council, Zorgar, obviously. Farrell would be, but he's not here.
Sure.
The first duty of business is going to be contacting both Farrell and Sargon to make sure they're both alright and to inform them of the situation.
Sure, who are you phoning first?
Farrell.
Okay. The stone doesn't.
Well, we already established that he
Oh,
dropped
okay.
overboard because he's an idiot.
You want me to cast sending?
Yeah, I'll have Lidda. I'll ask Lidda if she can cast sending.
Okay, yeah.
Just
I'll
a very
do it.
short, basic message of we've been betrayed. Scale knows where you are and where you're heading. Move now.
Okay, I'll say that word for word.
They know I'm at the tavern?
Most likely.
What's going on? Betrayal? What?
Some man Naren fucked over, betrayed all of our locations to
Oh, which one?
Scale.
Is it fish? Oh, I never trusted fish.
What is his name? Hold on. I wrote it. Torvax? Is that was his name?
Who the fuck's that?
Some dude that was in a cage with a dragon for like 2 months.
Oh, that guy.
That Naren just left.
Oh, he was not in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
Once again, Aaron thought he was dead.
Yeah, well, it's kind of a
Yeah,
different
I'm
sitch
not
when you're in a
usually
cage.
sticking up for Naren shenanigans, but this doesn't really feel like his fault.
Maybe it should be like a staff
the
night.
main priority
bonding.
when we got to the dragon was killing the dragon, getting the gold, and there was no really any talking to that guy. Like, I don't even remember him because we never actually spoke to him, even though he was in a cage for 2 months.
You didn't. Aaron did. Aaron.
But like, was it
got
even
him
a
out the
point of
cage.
right time to go rescue him and get the gold, or rescue these guys? And
No,
get the
no,
gold if
because
they're
let
dead?
me reiterate again. Naren
But why
thought
didn't you
he
think maybe
was
they were
dead.
lying to you?
I don't know. Naren's not the fucking
Why
smartest
wouldn't
of
a
people,
point
is
of
he?
contention be we should probably go and check to see if they're still alive and do what we actually came to do as well?
Because they were overwhelmed and they ran. We ran. The dragon knew we were there.
But I'm saying when we came back for the actual thing, it was let's get the gold. It wasn't let's check and see if they're still alive. And get the gold.
Okay, 2 reasons. 1, been 2 months. Very unlikely you'd survive that long with a dragon. 2, Matthew forgot. You can't blame Darren for Matthew's mistakes. There was a lot of real person time between those 2 events.
You forget things between sessions?
Well,
There was a whole quest in between.
Either way, we have in-game consequences that are
Yeah, and we're dealing with those
very
now.
real.
Contacting Farrell, seeing, basically just tell him to get out now.
We just got here.
Get the crew. Get out now.
Well, I mean, we're in Mistport, like, you know.
Farrell,
What are they gonna do?
We've already lost the ship twice in like the past 2 years. Scale, know where you are.
Okay, well, where are we going?
That's up to you. The less
We
I
come
know,
back
the
to Scale, they
better.
would never suspect that, would they?
Well, we did find a kale. A kale? A cave. The point is just get on the move.
I'm sorry, the line is breaking up. What? You found coal?
It's just Aaron's leaving it at that. Now to contact Sargon.
Sure. You got some friend?
Right.
Or...
Does he have a
Same.
stone?
No.
Okay,
it's just
telephone
got-
time. That's my job.
Hello, operator.
Same message as that was given to Farrell in the first place. We've been betrayed.
Betrayed.
Scale, I believe Keldrath know your location, at least. The person who betrayed us believes that they do.
Who betrayed us?
I repeat the man's name.
Torvax.
Thank you.
Oh, he's that purple hair we recovered from the cave, right?
That's correct.
Okay, what are we doing? Are
I
we?
don't know.
Do
Well,
you need
we're
us to climb
having
down from here? We could maybe get down the you know, we wouldn't be able to get back up the. Like,
we're having a meeting to discuss plans now. Just make
Okay.
sure you're safe, secure.
okay, no open fires. All right, I'll get on it, Commander.
And I guess the council meeting will now begin.
Okay, well it's 10 o'clock. Do you want to wait for the council meeting for next week when Finn's around, or do you want to do it now?
I mean, it would be good if, you know, one of the actual people who is a part of the council was here.
Maybe. I mean, that feels like a pretty good place to stop things at.
Also, someone who also equally fucked over Torvax.
With this damn shiny armor.
Damn shiny armor.
Damn shiny armor.
Shiny armor.
I remember that so specifically.
All right, yeah, well, we'll stop here then, and we'll pick up next Tuesday with this stuff. So next Tuesday, beyond this chat, your plan is just to kind of keep moving south through the mountains and shift the troops over. Is that right?
I don't know if we're still shifting the troops over, but we're still
Okay.
moving, no matter
Okay,
what.
sure. All right. And if your plan changes between now and next week, let me know. I can prepare for it. Otherwise, we'll pick up here next week, next Tuesday. So if you watch the stream, cheers for watching, and we'll see you next week.